This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, all right. See, now let's see the sessions. We just recap the things what we discussed in the last class. We discussed about job, position, and the date. Okay. So to create a position, what more is required? Okay. So before creating of the position, we should create a jobs and the organization. Okay. So this is a sequence of the work structure in the business group. Okay, all right. Now we'll see about we are created a multiple positions yesterday. Okay, so now we are going to look about how the position hierarchy. Do you remember in the last session we created the organization hierarchy? Okay, in the same manner now I'm going to create about this position hierarchy. Okay, so where we get this position hierarchy? So we have created this is a position, this is the creation of the position screen. Okay, so here we have created a multiple positions. Okay, so one is this application manager 001. Just let me note down in one notepad. Yes, and then application manager 2. Next CEO, and next finance manager, and IT manager. So purchase officer. So these are all the positions. Okay, so employee holds these positions. Now I'll create this position hierarchy. Okay, so the position hierarchy, I'll give you the some naming conventions. ERPTREE position. Actually, I so create position hierarchy. Okay, now you can save this. All right, now here. So how can we create the positions? Okay, so keep the after you create this, give the version number if you want, and then see the date from. So 1st January, let's say 1990. Okay, and then save. So keep the cursor here, press F11, and then Control F11. Okay, so all the positions will come. Now see here. So if you want to see, we want to keep whatever the topmost in the position hierarchy. So for example, I want to keep this CEO is the topmost hierarchy. Why here the no holder is coming is, so we have created the position, we are not yet assigned to any employees, we will assign in future. Okay, so when we are creating of employees, we will assign this position. Okay, now CEO is the topmost in the hierarchy. So now here I will select this finance manager. So finance manager, this finance manager is reporting to the CEO. Okay, and IT manager also reporting to the CEO. Okay, so but the IT manager, so under this subordinates there will be a application managers, right? Application manager 1. Okay, and application manager 2. See here the number of subordinates are getting increased, right? Before when I assigned the application manager 001, the subordinates is 1, and the application manager, when I assign this number of subordinates is increased. Okay, so these two people are reporting to the IT manager, and then this IT manager reporting to the CEO. This is actually, it can be a basic, but this position hierarchy, it will be used in the SCM, supply chain management, for the approval purpose, purchase approvals or requisition approvals. That is not in the HRMS model, that it will be used in the supply chain management model. Okay, all right. Next, see, we are used these two and the CEO, finance manager, IT manager, and then, for example, this purchase officer. Okay, so purchase officer is reporting to, go for, click on up, then it will reach to the topmost hierarchy. Okay, so for example, so here for the finance manager, under the finance manager there will be a purchasing officer. So click here down, there is a down button. So if you click the down, it will goes to the, this one finance manager, it will goes to the top node. Okay, click the down, and then next you can select here as purchasing officer. See, the number of subordinates of this finance manager is gets increased. Okay, so see now here under the CEO, how many? There is a five number of subordinates. How? See here, there is a two, right? Under the IT manager, there is a two. Okay, under the finance manager, there is a one. Total three. Three plus finance manager is one, IT manager is one. So totally five. Okay, here you can see here 2 plus 1, it's a 3, and again finance manager 1, it's a 4, and again IT manager, it's a 5. So this is called the position hierarchy. So okay, now we have created the new position hierarchy. Okay, if you want to become any changes in the future, okay, so here instead of the CEO, we want to keep as a board of director at the top. Okay, so we cannot see, you can change the low level of hierarchy without deleting of the hierarchy. Okay, but the top mode has, see for example here, instead of IT manager 001, here if I want to be, this employee gets resigned and the new employee, new IT manager is came, we created the position IT manager 002. Okay, so in such case, I'll tell you, let me create the position here. Wait. IT manager, old organization, IT, job is called the manager, status active. Okay, old hiring information. Old. Now in the hierarchy, let me open the hierarchy. See here, I queried this. Okay, then keep the cursor here, press F11, check this checkbox and this. Okay, see here, now this position it's freezed up, or whoever having this position, that employee get resigned and the new employee is joined, they created a new position and they are assigned the new position to that particular employee. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to change this position. Okay, and then we need to assign this to this IT manager, uh, this application manager 001 and application manager 2, it has to be assigned to the new IT manager. Okay, so now example, I'm trying to delete this, system will not allow now, because there is a child level of child level of positions is there for this position. Okay, so there is a child level. So system will not allow. First we need to delete this. So here the number of subordinates are 0. The system will allow it. Okay. So and then I forgot to say one thing. See here, after we create the position of the hierarchy, okay, after creation of the position of the hierarchy, you should run one concurrent program. So once it's finalized, okay, so that is called fill employee hierarchy. So it's not attached here. I'll tell you later that is not here. Okay, so let's delete these two things. And then click on up arrow, so it will comes down here, and then click delete this also. It will becomes it will delete now. Why? Because that subordinates are were already deleted, so that position doesn't have any childs now. Okay, now click on save. Now choose here IT manager 002. See this way. Okay, under this again, okay, let's say this application manager 001 and application manager 002. Okay, so these two positions is there. CEO, so this IT manager and finance manager. Okay, so actually after you do any changes or after you create any new position hierarchy, we should run one concurrent program. Okay, so that is fill employee hierarchy. Okay, actually that concurrent program is not attached here. Okay, we'll make and attach that program. So if there is any program is not attached, so we need to make sure to be attached from the sys administrator. Okay, so you know that what is a responsibility, you know that we are created a user and we are attached the responsibility to that particular user, right? Okay, for that we have created the responsibility. At the time of the responsibility we have seen the this request group. Do you remember this? So let me tell you again. ERPTREE HRMS. What is your responsibility name? Here, okay, there is a space. So ERPTREE HR. So this is our responsibility. This is the request concurrent request data group. So whatever the concurrent programs you want to attach, you have to attach to this request group. Okay, where is this request group? Okay, see this request group name is SA HRMS reports and process, and the application is human resource. Okay, under the human resource we need to attach this. So this is the request group. Okay, you copy that request group and query it here. Okay, see the application is a human resource. Okay, you have to attach here. Okay, one second. Keep the cursor somewhere else and click this new. Okay, see fill employee hierarchy. Okay, this is actually it's from the purchasing model. Okay, because this position hierarchy is related to the purchasing model, but sometimes we even the HR consultant has to be created this. HR consultant has to know it, because this we will use in the self-service and the approval side. Okay, close this. Right, and the next is So we need to run this program. So after we do any changes, multi-org profile is required. Go to local, place it as a remote security. For this responsibility, we are not considered already initial classes. The responsibility is ERP HRMS. HR security. ERPTREE HRMS. It's already set up. Let's set it the site level also. And more security profiles. Okay. We define the MO security. MO is nothing but multi-arc. Okay. So HR, ERPTREE HRMS manager. You do not have access privilege to any operating unit. Please check your security profile. It includes the operating unit and your profile. Okay, actually, we are not created the operating units because the operating units will be defined by the SCM or finance consultant. Okay, so if you travel to any, see, I will attach the existing responsibilities to our user under this finance user and define. Okay, let me open our user. What is our user? ERP3 HRMS and we'll attach ERP purchasing super user. Okay, so I will go to this ERPTREE purchasing super user and I will run the program. See this. Okay, so even that position hierarchy also you can define here also. I think this will be in the purchasing setup personal position hierarchy. See here, our position hierarchy will also be defined here. This will not available here because this is a different business group. Okay, they have created the different business group. Okay, so we are just using this. You can run that program from here. Say fill employee hierarchy. See now, actually this operating unit should be defined. We are not defined these operating units because for the HRMS the operating unit should not require it. Okay, so this operating units will be defined by the SCM supply chain consultant or the finance consultant. So you have to select this and then you will run this program. Okay, for after any modifications in the position hierarchy, you have to run this program. Then only the modified position hierarchy will take into the effect. Okay. Otherwise, old position hierarchy will works under the specific operating unit. Okay. So this is the position hierarchy, and sorry, it is ERPTREE HRMS manage. Okay. Now we are going to see about the grades part again. Grades and the some. So yesterday we defined the grades, right? So yesterday we have not defined the grades, just we have seen the subject of the grades. Okay, jobs, position, and then grade 1, grade 2. Okay, now I'm going to define about the grades. Okay, for example, there is a grade 1, grade 1. Sorry, the sequence number is 1. Okay, name of this grade is grade 1. Okay, short name is also grade 1 and 2. Further information, if you want to attach any information for this, you have to do it. Okay, grade 2. And then this is a grade 2. Four, and then this is a grade 4. Subject is also grade 4. 5, grade 5. Okay, and the next is, so let's close. So these are the grades we defined. Okay, now do you remember in the previous sessions we have created one of the employee called that is employee number. Employee number 1. So this is employee number, and then go to the assignments. See, whatever the jobs, positions, grades we defined it, those will appear here. See, job is the CEO, manager, officer. For example, CEO job. Okay, make a correction, and then position also. One second. Actually, this this position it's not exist under the under the CEO department. Okay. CEO. See, before the organization is ERP HRMS. Under that organizations, the CEO position is not existed. CEO position is existed under the CEO department. Okay, so this work structure is it's linked up between 1 to 1. Okay, so now, so the grade is what here for the CEO. Whatever the grades we define it will appear here. Okay, so this is a grade 1 employee. So the payroll, this one we'll see later. Okay, now click on save. See, for example, now see here. Let's save this. Okay, where it is appearing? Save. Okay, close this. So, okay, go to the assignment. Before continue entering. The following record does not have value of employer. Okay. So maybe here some gossip information is missed. See this gossip employer. So ERP HRMS. So this GOSI related things only for Saudi legislation. For other legislation will be other. I'll explain related to the GOSI. So each legislation to legislation, it's bit difference. Okay. See here, transaction applied and saved. Now close this. See here, actually I created one employee. So let's see the other employees. Is there any other employees that exist here? So only employee number one. Okay. Now I'm going to create the other one more employee. Action type, create employment, and then okay, this employee's hire date is we'll change the hire date. It's in 2018. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to create one more employee. Create employment, and first name is employee 2, and then give it as your family name, employee, date of birth 1st January 1984, 34 years. Then additional information, nationality India. Okay, so just save this information. Actually, do you remember in the yesterday we created the position called of the CEO position? We given for the CEO position as a single incumbent position type. Okay, I'll show you once again if you want this position. So in the description, open the position. It's called of the position name, combinations. Click on OK. So CEO position. The CEO position is single incumbent, and then FT is also one, headcount is one. Full-time equivalence and the headcount, both are the one. Okay, now for the employee number 2 is also I'm going to create. I'm going to assign for the employee 2 also the same CEO position. Okay, the CEO department. Okay. Job is also a CEO, and then see the position is also a CEO. Click on this. See, the error is appeared here. You cannot add another assignment to this position. Okay, the position type is single incumbent and the assignment already exists for it. If you remove that position for that particular of the employee, you can assign it here. Okay, so this is called of the single incumbent. The position, whatever the positions are exist, only single position is exist in the organization. So for that position, you have to create a single incumbent. Only the one CEO will exist in the organization. Okay, so it may be called of some deputy CEOs also there. Okay, for that you have to change the position name. CEO department, the job is also the CEO, but the position will be a different. It's called of the CEO department. Okay, so likewise you have to do it. So here you cannot assign this position. Just make it clear, and then you can assign this IT department or finance department. Let's take a finance department. Okay, okay, and then so finance manager this position. So under the finance department, under the job, how many positions we have created? Only one. That's called a finance manager. Okay. So here this employer should be ERPTREE annuities. Assets as say. Oh, the system is down. It's okay. R12 HRMS people. Employee number 2. Assignment. It's not saved. This is called of finance department. Job is called of manager. So here employee. Why this? Please look the web server. This could happen. It's happening like this. Employee number 2. Okay. So, okay. Now let's create the position. It's maybe a server issue there. Okay. Let's create the other employee. The employee joining date is first 180. Okay. Change ERPTREE HRMS gender. Let's take create employment employee 3. So date of birth is 1987. Okay. Save. Nationality Nepal. Okay. New Zealand, whatever it is. Okay. And save. Go to the assignments. Here select the IT department. Correction. And then the position called application manager. So this job will come automatically because under the IT department organization, the positions uses whatever the job is linked up with this position, that will be picked automatically. Okay, right. Now give this glossy information here. Okay, see, it's saved. It's not closing this. The system is doing this. Received. Comes to here only the system is remote desktop. It's too much. Keep on disconnecting this. Okay, so this one I'll show you tomorrow. Maybe there is some issue in the server connectivity. Okay, and then so this is what how to assign the positions. We came to know that the single increment also, but the shared one, pooled ones, whatever the headcount is given, as much number of employees you can assign to them. Okay, and then next we'll define the grade rates here. Okay, so grades and the grade rates. Okay, actually see here in the yesterday structure we defined of the grade rates based on this experience. Based on the experience, this is the salaries. Okay, the grade 5 is the lowest grade, the grade 1 is the highest grade. Okay, so likewise we'll define the salaries. Okay, ERP grade rate units money. Okay, sorry, this will change the effective date. Sorry, we'll delete this and I'll recreate. Okay, let me change the effective date of this. January ERPTREE right now. So here I have to say this, and the grade name is, see for example, 5th grade currency. Let's take a salary real and the value. So see for example here I will give the minimum value of this grade 5 employee. So grade 5 is what? This 0 to 2 years experience. So for the 0 to 2 years experience, we'll give from 10,000 to 25,000. Minimum value 1,000 to maximum. It will be a 3,000. So mid value is this. This is next grade 4. So area, and then here from 3,001 to 5,000. Grade 3. 7,000. Okay. Next grade 2. Same South area. Here 7,001 to 10,000. So here grade 1 South area for 10,001 to the maximum value. So I'll left as a blank. You must enter the grade right value or minimum and max. So this grade rate value will give up to 50,000. So later time you can change these values based on the requirements. Okay. Uh, right. Okay. We have defined the grades. Okay. Why this grades are why I defined the grade rates is, for example, see here, a employee has a grade 5 employee. Okay. For example, a CEO, he is having a grade 1. His salary should be 10 to 50,000 only. Okay, If the system, if for example organization is announced the employee salary is 35,000 Saudi Riyal, but the my user has entered 65,000, system will not allow this. That I will show you when we goes to the payroll side. So this will be, we will make a link, this one, these are all the grades to the payroll, okay, and for each employee as well, okay. Then you will come to know that, okay. So this is graded, and then for the same manner we can define the precision progression of the points pay scales, but this is not required at all, okay. We will not use this here. And then next, see for example, we are defined the grades, we are defined the jobs, we define the positions, okay. But see here, in this case, when we'll go back to the screens again, grades and the grade description, okay. See grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, okay. See here, for example 6th grade, here my user has to be type here. For example, by mistakenly he is selected after the grade 5, he entered the grade 10, or else he entered the same grade again this 5, okay. System will allow it, okay. See, is user may has to do this type of the mistakes, right? I'm deleting this, okay. If we wants to be make a restriction to the user, we will, we have to be provide here one LOV. See here, we have to provide the LOV, okay. So what, so how can we do that? So do you remember when we create the business groups, we have created a 6 type of mandatory flexi fields, okay. So we have to go back to that flexi field screens, okay. So here flexi field, key flexi field, segments. So what is the flexi field title for the grade? Grade, okay. Here ERPTREE HRMS. So here the value set, we have to create here one more value, one value set. So here the value set name is grade, grade value set. So this is called of independent values, okay. So for value set, naming convention should be underscore vs, it will be a good, okay. So by saying this, we can understand this is a value set, this will be a naming convention, okay. Grade name value set. So here there is a so many type of value sets, okay. We will see one by one. Now first we are seeing of independent value set, okay. So what is basically of this independent value set, when we will use, there is a 8 to 9 type of the validations: dependent, independent, none, special, paired, table, and translated dependent, translated independent. There is a 8 type of value sets. We will see one by one when we have to use this. Well, when we have to use independent, when we have to use dependent, when we have to use none, special, paired, table, okay. We'll see. First, we'll see the independent value set. Okay, what exactly of this independent value set? Okay, so this independent value set is, we can, whatever the values the developer has to be passed, the user can see only that values. Okay, see here, for example, the grade, we are defined the how many grades? 5 grades. Okay, now we'll assign this value set here. Okay, and then close. Make freeze this. See, for example, this is still an unfreeze. Okay, if it is in unfreeze mode, so when you go to travel to the HRMS, system will throw you an errors. Okay, so you have to be make a freeze of this, make compile after this. Okay, make sure this concurrent program, one concurrent program request to be submitted as successfully. Okay, and then see here, there is no values to this value set. Okay, we will attach this values. Okay, so for the independent value set, we will attach the values. Key flexi field. So what is our this application? So flexi field, key flexi field. Why it's not opening anything? 1 minute. We'll see real data here. Enter. Set mode. Right. Check that. We'll go to the system application, flexi fields, key flexi fields, then values. Okay. Should appear here. Actually, there's a problem in the application side. ERPTREE HRMS. Application flexi fields, key flexi fields, values. Okay. So here it's not appearing. Here, actually, this is an independent value set. We'll query this and then we'll attach the value sets here. We can attach the values here. But I don't know, maybe the system issue or something. Nothing is open. Right? It's not opening any LOS. Let me contact the system. Like that. So here we need to will attach the values. Then the flexi fields, key flexi fields. Actually, in here we'll define the grades. Okay, this is of grade. So ERP HRMS grade. The segment. Okay, this is a value set. Let me unfreeze this. This is a segment. So open the value set. Default value in the range. Here we can give it, but the why I don't know, this value set is not open. Any of the value sets is not open, should open there. So we have to give the query this human resource there, flexifield title, grade flexifield, and then the structure we have to give it here. So it will open. So nothing is opening. So desktop values container. Even from the SysDB also it's not opening. Okay, so that is application issue. So this is the actually to adding of the values to the independent, whatever the values. We have to go to the values, click on this here, and then here we have to give that whatever the value set name we have created ERP3 grade. See the value set is not at all. None of the value set is not opening here. I don't know what happened. Okay, let me log in with operations welcome and see. It's okay. Okay, child. Application flexible, keep flexible. Here it's opening. Okay. So human resource, and then title is what? Grade flexifield, and then structure is ERP3 HRMS grade. What is our segment? Grade name. Okay. So this is our value set. Okay. Here we'll add the values here. ERP3 HRMS grade. Okay. For that structure, see, you will open the again. See here segments values. Key flexible application human resource. Title is grade flexible. Structure ERP3 HRMS grade, and then segment grade name. Okay, values. There is no values here. Now we'll enter the values here. Like same grade 1. Okay. Next grade 2. This is grade 2. Grade 3. Like grade 4. Grade 5. Next grade 6. Grade 8. See, we are entered the 10 grade values. Okay. So the same thing it will comes over there. See, when I open the values again, you can see now application is what human resource, and title is grade rate, ERP grade rate, and then segment is grade. See, now the values will appear here. We have defined the 10 grades, right? Before there is no values. Okay. Now, so my user, when he wants to, I will go back to the application now in our ERP. We will log in with the ERP3 HRMS. ERP3 HRMS manager. Okay, all right. Next, here we are created the grades, right? The work structure, the grades, the description. Okay, just query the grades which we see. The grade 5. Okay, see here, this is the list of the values. User has to be choose it. For example, I'm creating the 6th grade. Okay, so here user has to select this grade. So he cannot able to type anything here. So the description you can give it anything. Just 1980. Okay. For example, see here, in the seventh, this is a 7th grade. I'm typing grade 17. So my user will type. System will not allow it. System, it will show the list of the values which is existed in the grade value set. You have to choose out of this only. Okay, he has to choose this. So like this. So this is called of the value set example. This is called of a. So we have seen only out of 8 value set, we have seen only independent value set. Okay. So we'll see the rest of the value set types in upcoming classes. Okay. So I'll start the class today here. If you have any questions, you can ask me now. Hello. I think no one has questions. Okay. Thank you. Thanks all. See you tomorrow.